well. So no pressure on them, I guess. So, but a lot of these other guys, like we said, Trent Verstaten's in row 2 with Andrew Smith, Anderson Bowen, excuse me, and Stephen Shaw Jr. are in row 3. Jeffrey Barker won there just the other night, and Patrick Maltese are in row 8. Troy Filbert and Jack Hitt. We've seen Jack a lot in the dirt as well there. They're in row 5. Stephen Goldner been running well. Kyle Parker, they're in row 6. Chase Hess, GJ Boydell in row 7. Dennis Stonebreaker, Terry Landis in row 8. Roger, who we just talked to a second ago, he's inside row 9 with Gary Taylor. And nice to see Tom Taylor here tonight. Although from looks of the qualifying, Tom might have a little bit of work to do out there, right, Joe?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got to see what he can do here tonight and see if he can't pull this thing off. But I tell you, 30 laps is almost like just an all-star shootout style race. If you're familiar with how the NASCAR side of things does it, and with their all-star race and their shootouts, 30 laps around this place. It is a fast track, so let's see what happens here with these guys.
It is. Like you said, a lot of them with the dirt background, so we'll see how they adjust. Of course, Charlotte, one of the tracks that any of us who did the old NASCAR games, even back in the 90s when the steering wheels first came out, Charlotte's a track that a lot of people know very well. We'll see how it works out tonight as 17 cars will take the green. And one spun already at the back. I think that's Gary Taylor who went around in the 34.
Yeah. Well, now, remember the other time we were talking about
Yeah, of course, you can see the lights are out on the pace car, so it looks like it will be ducking down this time, and we should get the green this time off of turn number 4. 30 laps, caution laps will count, must be green, white, checkered finish at the end, and after this, we're going to take the midgets out to Kokomo and have some fun there. Aiden Young, Michael Redding, the two big dogs of the asphalt world in this group are going to get the green.
Green flag flies. They're heading off in turn 1, side by side right there. Now, remember we was talking earlier about tires and the difference between the tires here and what it is on the dirt side. Remember, you got to let those pressures get up. They have the tire model here where these tires are cold, the pressures and the airs are low. It'll take a lap or two, a couple of laps for these guys to get up there before these things really start getting grip into them. You see everybody kind of single file, and that's just kind of what this track is. You can pass early with the tires as is, but as the run goes on, it's going to be a little bit harder to get around somebody.
And a caution out here, or at least it's waving out there, so caution early on this one. Who was it?
Chase Hess. Let's go back here and see what happened to him here on the replay. He's back there with the 5. Looks like a little contact in front of him. Maybe had a check up here, but what happened here? And with the Superman car right there in front of him. Actually by himself right now. Down the back stretch here. And it's just so easy to spin one of these things out. Yeah, he just lost it coming out of the turn. Again, perfect example right there, folks, of what I was talking about with the tires early on. You saw right there, he lost it coming out of the turn. You're probably thinking, well, how in the world could he do that? Those tires should be, they're new. But what the tire model is, it's just like in real racing. You've got to let those pressures build up. If not, it'll be very, very slick and very hard and very easy to lose one of these things in the rear like that. So, got to give them a couple laps, get up to, get up to temperature and all that. And that's the big difference, unfortunately. And I know they're working on it, and eventually we'll get there. But unfortunately, on the dirt side of things, they don't have that tire model, so to speak, there.
Probably a little more complicated, like as the track would change, and whether you're running in the brown or the cushion or in the middle where it's a little slicker. But when you don't have quite 2 laps in a place like
would
this,
be the biggest thing there, Doug, wouldn't it?
Yes.
That's the one thing that's puzzled me a little bit, and I've had some guys kind of explain it to me. But obviously, one thing about asphalt side of things when it comes to tires is obviously scrubbing the tires in the turn, heat, flat spot, and et cetera. The track temperatures do rise throughout a race. But one thing that I was always curious, because we are talking about dirt and ground and et cetera, is and I'm trying to figure out how to ask on it is, throughout the race, yeah, I would understand that maybe that ground would get warmer, but wouldn't the dirt cool it off faster, or would
Yeah.
it change? It would be a lot different than what asphalt, where it would sustain and hold the heat in.
Yeah, because like when we raced asphalt with my daughter on the hotter days, the car would tend to slide around a little bit more in those situations. Where on dirt, about the only thing that happens there is if everybody gets running the same groove, the track can actually take rubber, and you can actually see it. It turns like a dark gray color. And if you could, I know you couldn't, but the guys have described, I mean, as soon as they hit it, they're like, wow, we're driving on flypaper here. There's just grip all over the place. That is when the track actually gets warm. But a warm day, cool day, about the only thing in dirt is change the jetting on the carburetor, maybe.
Okay.
And that's really about it. It's not like a 90-degree day, you're going to see less grip than on a 70-degree day. It's more the moisture in the track, how it's changing, and things like that. So that might be why it's tough for them to figure this out.
That's what I was about. Yeah, you two words out of my mouth. That's what I'm thinking is probably the biggest issue. Is like I say, and I wasn't 100%, and it's obviously good, you know, coming from two sides. And you know a world of information on the dirt. I'm kind of learning.
Yeah, Joey's better on this.
Well, I mean, I've loved NASCAR, followed it for a long time, and done a lot. I love getting into the tech side of it, and what these drivers have to deal with. And I'm like you. I feel like that's probably one of the big, issues is, dealing with dirt. And obviously, it's just the ground. It's going to change a lot more than what, concrete or asphalt would, which is what a lot of these tracks on the oval side are.
Well, the other thing that they don't have in this, that is a big thing in the non-virtual world, is the track green. If it rains the night before a race, it washes all that rubber off. And what happens then is you're going to get more tire wear because the rubber being on the track makes it less abrasive. So that's one of the variables I don't think they have as far as this is concerned. But interesting to see how it works here, though, because I'm wondering if, does this track, do you actually see the rubber get laid down?
You will. Probably
you will?
At 30 laps, though, I don't think.
Maybe not, huh?
I mean, if we was running a 150-lap race like I'm used to normal calling here, after a while, you would actually start seeing in the turns, now not so much on the straightaways and all because you're going so fast, but you would actually see in the turns, right now it's pretty gray, it's pretty flat,
Yeah, the cars don't spin the tires. They don't lean over on the straightaways.
You'll see right now that and over a course of time, yes, you will see. It's kind of a cool effect. The first time they ever implemented, it was really, really cool of an effect. Especially over a course of a race, you just started seeing the turns just kind of start turning black, and it was really neat.
And that's usually where you're going to find bite at that point too. So remember, we got the, No, go ahead.
Oh well, I mean you're right. I mean it is, and also too, they always talk about the marbles, and that's a big thing about like here. You would start seeing those form up on the top side too. You'd start seeing a rubber fly and all, and it's just a cool effect. Now, it's not just an effect. That's another thing that they've really worked on here. On iRacing is that affects the handling of these cars. They have what they call the V7 tire model or something. So it's awesome.
And what happens with those marbles too is that when your tires are hot, if you get up in those marbles, they will stick to the tires, and they can actually make it not fully flat across. You have little bumps on there, almost like a golf ball, with dimples and stuff like that. So they tell you if you do get up in the rubber, something I learned from my daughter's years of asphalt racing, you better scrub those tires off while you're under yellow. Otherwise, they could get out of round, they could bounce, you could get a vibration from that right there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What affects small business game changers 3D printing, Joe? I mean, you want a 3D printer, don't you? I mean, I would love to have one, wouldn't you? Imagine the stuff we could do, right?
Yeah, make a lot of stuff.
They're committed to making this cutting-edge technology accessible for anyone that has an idea that needs to be manufactured, no matter how crazy like Joe and I's ideas would probably be. They use a CAD program. They work with you to create your own invention or creative project, and they specialize in small business production, oil, gas, prototypes, and stuff like that. SBGC3D.com. Look them up on Facebook as well. Thanks for coming along, guys. I want one, Joe. I really do. I don't know what I'd do with it exactly, but I'd like to have some fun with it.
Sorry about that. You almost caught me with my mouth full.
Well, that's okay. We need to have a sign for that. So light is off. We are going to go racing again after a substantial caution flag here as we'll be back to racing. It'll be lap 8 when we come back around in this 30-lap event.
And I've noticed that here lately. I don't know if iRacing has extended their cautions, but for some reason...
Yeah, it's a long caution.
Yeah, the other day, some of the oval races I was doing was really long. So I don't know if maybe in the last build they've somehow extended them or something.
Well, remember, they have to get everybody lined up first. Then they have to open pit lane. Then they have to close pit lane. So usually it's a minimum of 3 laps at minimum for an asphalt caution.
Yeah. Well, we're back green and out front. Still Aiden Young and company.
Good start by Aiden on the bottom, too. Also watching Andrew Smith. He's falling back to 4th for Staten. Down the inside of him now to position number 3 as they hit 1 and 2.
Right now, though, you see these guys are going to get fanned out. Up front, the battle's on between the two there, between Aiden Young and Michael Redding, calling him Evel Knievel out there. He's looking to see if he can't wheelhouse that machine. That's 2 teammates there. You got Trent hanging on in 3rd, Andrew Smith up in the 4th. Patrick Matisse right there sitting in the 5th place. Steve Shaw in 6th. Everybody's kind of single file, nose to tail, just being kind of patient. You got to go actually back here to around the 9th, 10th before you get to kind of a maybe really close quarter there with Kyle Parker and Stephen Golden.
This is the reality of racing at Charlotte. It's a bottom groove dependent track most of the time. Only guy I really see taking a peek is Anderson Bowen, as that 76 keeps looking low on the 96 of Stephen Shaw. He can pull it out of line. You and I were talking about that with the big spoilers. Just because you can pull out a line doesn't mean you can pass him. Somebody spin it out in the front stretch. I think that's, is that Andrew Smith? No?
Not sure who that was.
Trent Verstraeten, that's who it is.
Yep.
And he has come to a stop.
Man, well, let's go back on no caution because he was actually off the race surface in here on iRacing. If you get, came out of turn 4, popped the wall before he went into the tri-oval. That's another thing. This car gets so tight coming out of turn 4, you will slap that outside wall out of 4. He got off the track, towed it away. No caution. We're still in the green here, but unfortunately, out up front was running around the 3rd place spot there. You got Andrew Smith moving it up. Then you got Steve Shaw right there who's trying to see. He's got Patrick on his back tailgate, seeing if he can't maybe go around him. And look, and draft will play a little bit of a factor here. Not too much, though. This is more of a, I love this word, we use it a lot week in and week out, momentum style track.
Mm-hmm. It really is. But you're right. Smith, Shaw, Matisse, and Bowen, anything could happen there in any second. Bowen has been peeking his nose underneath the Patrick Maltese car several times. He just can't seem to find anything. And I'm wondering out front, too, if Aiden Young is just hanging out, waiting to make this a 2-car race and make his moves later, because he is staying with Michael Redding.
Yes, he is. He let Michael get around him right now. Still battle going on back here with Patrick. Kind of put his nose on the inside. You can see that middle lane, though, gets that run coming off the turn. That full momentum there as you go on the inside. You can get your nose along the inside going in, but you need that arc and you need that full course to come out of the turn here, especially around turns at least 2 and especially 4. 4 is a really tight style turn. You can lose a lot of time momentum on that one, but Aiden Young, he's stalking his prey up there. Michael Redding, seeing what he's got. Those 2 guys are walking away. They're about, they're a solid about 1.5 seconds close to the 3rd place car there of Andrew Smith.
Watching G.J. Bodell, he and Kyle Parker are having a pretty good race just ahead of Jeffrey Barker back there in 7th, 8th position right there. But you're right, it's out front. It looks like, if anything, I think Redding's or Young may be ready to make a move here.
Good run, like you said, between them. And you're right. Battle on. G.J. Bodell right there along with it. Stephen Goldner. The company, they're side by side, but you can just see that outside lane. Going to be able to take it. Drag race to the line. The 30 machine. Stephen, he's got it.
Yeah, watching the 14 there, Boydell, too. He is down on the inside of Stephen Goldner. They almost touched that guy, but boy, I'll tell you, they are really going at it. This 7, 8, 9, 10, right back through there.
There's a good battle going on, like you said there. You've got Jeffrey Barker right there trying to see if he can't get on the inside of Steven himself. They're going to go door to door coming out of 4. It looks like the high lane is still going to prevail as they come across the line. Good drag race again. Steven's still going to hold him off. They'll head off into 1, and you see Jeffrey has no choice but to fall back in line. Can't do anything, but behind him, you got Terry Landis there. He looked to the inside of GJ. Wasn't able to do anything yet.
And one guy, Anderson Bowen, had been working on Patrick Maltese for about 10 laps. He finally got his way by. So he is now up into position number 5 as the 13 of Kyle Parker's right there too. But man, that one pass he just did took 2 laps to get by him, and he got by clean.
And that's usually what it takes here at this track. You got to set it up and hope that you can get around him. And sometimes it just takes a quite a bit, because everybody lap time wise, except for the top 4, they're all running 30.6 to 30.5, but everyone from 5th on back's in the 31 bracket there. What that tells me is you're not going to see anybody come flying through the field like gangbusters. It's just going to be very hard here to pass. Yeah, over the course of time, the gap will get bigger because the times are there, but it's just so close here on the field. Definitely a hard style place to get around.
Yeah, I'm looking at the guys where they started and where they are. Kyle Parker is the biggest mover, 12th to 7th. And actually Skylar Castor, 20th to 13th. So this is not like the dirt track. It's a little tougher to make up ground here. I still think Young's got something for Redding. He's back up on him now, about a little over a 10th back, about 2 car lengths. Sounds like Yellow's out once again with 19 complete in this 30-lap race. Charlotte, the home of NASCAR racing. So many teams located within a half hour, 45 minutes from there. Always been one of my favorite tracks. Remember when they had the walls yellow for a while there, Joe? I liked it when they did that. That was a couple of years ago. I thought it looked pretty cool. I liked it. Redding has led every lap, but Aiden Young has not let him drive away from him. And I'm wondering about some of these guys in the back, like Anderson Bowen. We saw him pick up some spots. Kyle Parker's been picking up some spots too. This thing's not over yet. Again, they'll have to open up pit lane and all that, so it'll take a few laps before we get back. But Michael Redd and Aiden Young, that race is not over yet. In Southern Patio Enclosures, the sponsor of this entire series that we do, roll up and down patio enclosures that allow you to use your patio year-round. Not as important down where Joe is in Carolina, but up here in the Northeast, a little more important. Southern Patio Enclosures, whether you got a business you want to do something with, restaurant, or Joe's going to be building his ultimate sunroom / race room in the back here soon, and Southern Patio Enclosures can help you with all that stuff. Thanks for helping out, guys.
Well, I tell you, under caution here, and like I said, we was watching it there, and just a little love tap on the back end, unfortunately sent Troy around. Yeah, so and
bump
again,
drafting, huh?
Yeah, a little bump drafting going wrong here, and that's usually what you don't want to do at a track like this. I mean, you're going so fast. This is not a bump draft style. It's not a bump and run style track here to do. But I tell you, again, folks, look, a lot of these guys, they're dirt experienced guys. They're not oval side. So don't judge them on what they're doing. They're coming out here having fun on this track here tonight.
And that's the thing. And really, when you get down to it, we've had 2 incidents in this race, and we're 20 laps into it. So really, they're running clean. I think they're being very respectful. I'm going back through the pack like you are. Look at it. It seems like everybody's giving everybody room. It looks like a real good, respectable race. I like it. But it's a tough track to pass on, guys. So that's just reality right there. And this is a lot harder than like NASCAR on the PlayStation or something else you might have done on the Xbox. There's no assists. There's nothing you can do there. So it is considerably harder than any of those games you might have played before coming over to iRacing. How was that? Did I phrase that one right that time, Joe? I'm not going to get hate mail on that one. That was about right? Okay. Because like I said, those were games. Those were gaming systems. This is different. So, and again, I'm trying to learn this stuff myself. I can get around this track okay. But boy, when you put me out there with somebody else, well, that's different. Pass somebody as fast as you are, Now that changes everything, because these guys are finding out. So Redding, Young, Smith, Shaw, Bowen, the top 5. They'll be completing 21 when they come around this time. And we'll see if the lights go off the pace car next time around. Not yet, though. And this is NASCAR format. This is what they do. Let the cars get formed up. Then we open up the pits and close the pits. They do a lot of that in dirt. We run a big race up in Oswego every year that's 200 laps. And there's pit stops and stuff. And you got to do it that way. You can't just let people come in and out. And it makes it tough on the scores.
Yes, it does. Well, been all Michael Redding out front, but Aiden Young has been there stalking. Sorry about that. My wife was talking to me. So, well, I was keeping quiet there for a few. No, Aiden Young, though, he'll probably sit there and wait. And,
right.
Now, he's got to make sure he gets it in the right time frame, too. I mean, he doesn't want to wait there and then a caution comes out the wrong side. And, he doesn't have the opportunity to get around. And then again, he don't want to get up there and wreck his teammate either. They'd much rather be 1-2 as a team rather than get up there and wreck each other, because that would be bad.
Well, remember, they do have rear view mirrors here, so Aiden is able to see what's going on behind him. So if he knows it's a 2-car race and there's still 10, 15 laps to go, why would you go up there and try something? You don't want to show them what you got. You might wait till 2 to go and then make the move.
iRacing, you always got rear view mirror.
They do. Okay, because like sprints don't have mirrors.
Yeah, and I heard that one time before, and that's why I was like, yeah, but on the virtual side, they do have the rear view mirror, and I was like, and I know in dirt racing, a lot of the, like you just said, the sprints and the late models and stuff don't have rear view mirrors. But here, obviously in the virtual world, you have that big virtual mirror that you can see everything behind you. And it's funny though, I hear some of the dirt guys were talking, and they were like, "You can't look in that rear view mirror and see me coming." And then one dude's like, "What? Well, in real life they ain't got it. Well, we're not in real life, so make sure you pay attention to it."
That's true. But yeah, I could see how you would get to the point where you'd like, I can see how you could forget too, because you're not used to it. So, lights are off. It looks like we're going to be going green this time.
Lap formation up here, 2x2. It's going to be a good one as we're getting set here at less than 10. About 8 laps to go. Obviously, you can throw in maybe a chance for a green-white checkered here. Is that's the normal side here on the asphalt stuff. As we're getting set here, does Michael Redding have enough to hold off his hangry pack of wolves behind him? Guys are going to gear it up here tonight. And got to be hush-hush for a minute, because I just looked at the 10th place car. Old Roger Craig out there that moved up in there slowly but surely.
17th to 10th, by the way. I guess he's followed Skylar Castor. He's 20th to 9th, too. So, but the big thing you want to do if you're a driver right now, what do they always say, right? You can't win the race on the restart, but you sure can lose it. And you don't want to be too aggressive here and end up in the wall. Easy to do. Both Joe and I have done that on this track in various forms of this over the years. So it's easy to do.
Yeah, that was that old saying, you can't win it in the first turn, but a lot of guys try to. So, hey, we'll have to see as pace car takes that hard left turn off on pit road, and the man up front, Michael Redding and Aiden Young, both are going to put a hammer down as we're back green flag racing. 2x2s, they head off into turn 1. You got Stephen Shaw sitting in the backside there too. He's up into 3rd, Andrew Smith. Everybody goes single files. They head off into 1 right now, nose to tail.
Good start for Redding as he goes back to the top spot with Young and Shaw right there. And those guys back behind him, they want to stay single file too. Look at Shaw staying right with Aiden Young this time. 3-car race up front.
We got a 3-car battle. We got a wreck in the back there. Terry Landis got hit crashing is what it's saying. But up front, Aiden Young's going to see if he can't put pressure on the back end there. Michael Redding, he is on the back tailgate. And this is what Michael doesn't want to see. He's going to have to keep an eye on that back end. He wants to worry about what's in front of him. And the problem is he's got that young man right there on the back stalking him as they come out of turn 2, storming down the back stretch.
Yeah, while they pulled away a little bit, looks like Andrew Smith's going to try Shaw for position number 3. He's down to the inside in the 79, has to pull it back up in line, but he took a look there.
Yes, he did. Out of 4, a little bit wiggly up front still. Aiden is all over the back bumper of old Michael Redding and is going to see if he can't storm right around him or make Michael make a mistake. You said it right there behind him, though. You've got Stephen Shaw, Andrew Smith, Kyle Parker and company, all those 4 machines right there, nose to tail on the freight trains. They head off down the back stretch. They're going to see what they can get done. Right there, and so Anderson's, was it Anderson Bowen? Owen?
Bowen.
Yep. Owen hanging off in the 6th place spot. We got a battle for the lead. Young's on the inside. Drag race to the line.
4 laps to go this time. We had a feeling things would start to heat up. Oh, I think that Young might have got, or excuse me, Young I think got down the infield a little bit, got down in the grass that time just a little.
Went out there, man, kind of weed eated it just a little bit, helped out the landscaping there, but he went around Michael Redding. Absolutely, and he has taken off, setting sail right now as you still got Stephen Shaw. That lap car allowed Stephen Shaw to pull up on the back deck lid of Michael Redding. Laps are winding down. Looks like Redding's car's not handling to the tune that he wants it to. Early on, they crossed the line. Aiden Young still leading it.
Ready to go. Got to give Terry Landis credit, too. Went low, got off the gas a little bit, gave the leaders a little extra room, too. So, good job.
Absolutely. 30 machine on the move right there. Stephen Goldner, he is on the outside looking in. Oh, wow. I tell you what, he definitely, man, is the man that might be the one you might want to think about right now. He's sitting on 4 new tires, and you can definitely tell what new tires do to old tires. He's coming through the field. Stephen Goldner might have made the pit stop of the night right now. With 2 to go, there'll be a white flag next time by. He's got enough speed, enough power, and enough tires right now to run down Aiden Young.
Great run here, 11th to 2nd overall. And like you said, with 2 more laps to go, does he have enough to run down the race leader? The margin tells me he does, down to 2/3 of a second now.
Head off into turn 3 here. They're going to get the white flag. You are right. He's definitely going to have the grip coming out of that one. It's going to have to be some block city here on that man. Aiden Young looks to the inside. He crossed white flag one more time. The biggest thing Steven's going to have, he's got those tires. He can put it on the inside, the outside. Either way he wants to, there's nothing that Aiden's going to be able to do. That momentum's going to stop a little bit, but look at him. He's going to storm off down the backstretch.
Well, he's got one more chance coming up here into 3 and 4. He took a look to the outside last time. He's going to do the same here in turn 3.
And he's going to have the tires to get it done. Drove that thing to the outside. Stephen Goldner there with a pit stop of the night. He's going to win here at Charlotte. Aiden Young's going to come home in second. I'm going to tell you what, I did not see that one coming. I didn't pay attention. He pitted at lap 19 during that caution and put 4 new tires, and everybody stayed out. I'm going to tell you what, that was a strategy call that won him the race right there.
Well, you were talking beforehand. We wondered how much fall off there would be over the course of 30 laps. I think we ended up having something like 20 actual green flag laps. Obviously, the fall off's a lot more than you and I thought.
Well, you got to look. You're looking at about I'd say a second, maybe half second of a fall off there between the lap times, which was just enough for him to get through the field. I mean, if it had been a lap less, then yeah, maybe Aiden would have been able to hold him off, but he had just enough time and just enough laps to be able to pull this thing off here tonight. What a finish. What a race here at Charlotte. Gotta love it. Here's, if we can't get a few of these guys up here and get a word with them.
Yeah, I noticed too when Aiden Young was out in front at the white flag, the lead was 2/3 of a second. And Goldner ended up winning by over a quarter of a second. So he was almost at least a second a lap faster than the guys he was running down. And that wins you races.
Absolutely. Let's bring up Michael Redding here. Oh, yeah, no doubt. Let's bring up Michael Redding here. Let's get a word with him, 3rd place man.
Michael, it's Doug up here in the booth. How we doing? Fell back to 3rd. What went on after that last caution?
We were a little tight, but thought I saved more than Aiden, but man, Steven come out of nowhere on those freshies there. Blew right past me. I thought he was a lap car. I told Aiden he was coming, and then I realized it was for position, and it was too late by then for me to do anything.
Were you surprised that he was able to make up that much ground with the tires that were really only about 10 laps fresher than yours, or is that standard fare for Charlotte?
I don't race these cars a whole lot.
Okay.
So I mean, he played the game fairly, so I didn't think anybody pitted, so he caught us off guard for sure.
That was some race, I'll tell you that. Anybody you want to say thanks to for the fine third place finish?
Yeah, I got to thank Gambler Motorsports, my teammate Aiden Young. I got to thank Hot Pit Media, and you guys for broadcasting, and Roger putting on the league.
Good job, man. We'll see you in the next race.
You bet, man.
All right, good job, man. Thank you, Michael.
Tell you what, Michael Redding, like I said, right there, coming out of nowhere. Well, let's bring up this guy, Aiden Young, who was the second place guy here and almost pulled it off.
Aiden, congratulations. Strong finish for you. At what time did you realize that you had a car with fresher tires coming down to run you down?
Yeah, when he was on my rear bumper.
Oh, not till then, huh? Good race out front, though, with you and Michael, teammates. You guys never touched it, did you?
Just clean, hard racing, I guess.
So what do we learn? What was our takeaway from this? Anything you could have done outside of maybe adopting the same strategy that Steven had?
More laps.
So just more practice, you're more on the dirt than here at Charlotte on the asphalt, huh?
Just more racing laps. 30 lap, that's kind of small for these cup cars. You don't really notice anything till about 50 lappers.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, next time we'll see. But still, strong run. Who do you want to say thanks to, Aiden?
I just want to thank the Inside Groove and Michael for racing with me tonight. You guys for broadcasting, just the whole GForce League.
We appreciate that. Thanks a lot, man. Good job. We'll see you in the next race, right?
Yep.
All right, good luck in the midget. Thank you.
Tell you what, man, right there, Aiden Young, like I said, they just got caught off guard by a little bit, and this guy right here with the pit stop of the night, Steven. Joe in the booth, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Joe.
Well, I tell you what, I did not realize, I didn't catch it until I saw you coming through the field there, that you were the only one of the ones that made a pit stop. Did you think that those 4 tires was going to benefit like it did? Because, boy, you came through the field like a rocket ship.
Yeah, after that little green flag run we had there, I knew burned my tires up too early, and I figured we'd have about 10 laps to go. I didn't take any fuel. I'm like, oh, I'll take some tires, and I was running 9, so I could have been a little bit worse ending, but I'm like, I could be better too, so I just figured I'd take the gamble, and it worked out for sure.
Pit stop of the night, right? Like I said, it was definitely an awesome call up there. Now, when you Aiden, did you think you were going to be able to get around him? Because a lot of times catching and passing is 2 different things.
I got to his bumper. I'm like, oh, he was running quick too. He pulled away from the leader, so I'm like, he's running quick. I don't know if I'll really get him. I was like, okay with running second on the last lap, but I just figured I'll drive it in there in 3 and 4, and we'll see if it sticks, and it stick good, and drove back around them and ended up picking up the win.
Oh, absolutely. Nice. Definitely was a awesome run. Awesome, way to come through the front and win this thing with a heck of a call here tonight. But you pulled it off, Charlotte. You got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank SGR and RK Automotive and my pit crew for putting new tires on.
Well, I'll tell you what, Malcolm Mills, Victor Lane here, and Strickland GMC here tonight, along with the Southern Patio Enclosures. I tell you, it was an awesome run for you again. Congratulations, Stephen.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Hopefully we'll see you again at Kokomo.
There you go.
Right. There we go. Well, the man, he put it in victory lane in fine fashion there, and it was a good one here on the asphalt. And definitely, that's just how it is. Sometimes pit stops play a huge factor here, and you can see sometimes tires really make up the difference.
And I like the burnouts he's doing too. You can tell he's experienced. He's like as good as anything you'd see from the actual Cup drivers. Nice job. But boy, he really made that an interesting race. We were like, oh, the 2 teammates are going to decide this. And oh my God, where did Steven come from? What a great strategy, great run, because he had to pass everybody. He did so cleanly, timed it perfectly. Nice job.
I'll tell you what, folks, don't go anywhere. We got dirt track racing coming up, man. Midgets at Kokomo. We'll be right back after
this. It's going to be fun.